Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye has friends. No, really, Jeff has friends. Jeff's friends are on this podcast. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship.
Friendship.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast. If you're watching on Patreon, what up, y'all? If you're listening, that's great. Exciting news for the Jeff Dye Friendship Podcast. We're coming at you on Revolver Podcasts now. We're happy to be teaming up with them. A lot of cool things. It's going to be getting bigger. The reviews have been great so far, and our ratings have been through the roof. So thank you if you did that. If you haven't, go throw us a little review, a little 5 stars or something. Thank you again to all the Patreons. This week's episode is very fun. It's very chill. It's very low key. Our guest is Nick Greco, a very funny guy who's also a Cubs fan, and a dude that I often say is one of my most underrated friends. I feel like a lot of my funny friends are doing these big things and everyone talks about them. Oh, do you know so-and-so? Do you know so-and-so? And Greco is under the radar for now. I think someday he'll be wildly famous and successful and getting credit for how funny he is. But I liken him to like a writer where it's like people are like, your friend Nick is really funny. And I'm like, yeah, everyone should know that. But for some reason, he doesn't get the credit that is due. But he's doing some big things, just was in a movie and wrote a movie that is really... good if you like sports and comedy and a romantic comedy. It's a rom-com. But we talk about that a little bit. Also his love for baseball. And then we just kind of shoot the shit, which is what this podcast is all about. So I'm excited for you to know my friend, Nick Greco. Enjoy. Welcome to Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast. Another episode. This is my favorite thing I've ever done, I think. Besides the TV shows and the nightly stand-up, this is, and the company I keep with ladies and my hobbies, this is my favorite thing that I do.
What about watching TV sometimes?
I also love that. Thank you, Aaron. And then wrestling. But I think those count as hobbies.
And video games.
And video games, yeah. But besides all that...
We're sitting top 10, hopefully.
This is definitely my favorite thing that I do.
Stuff? Yeah. Shopping, is that a hobby?
Yeah, it's a hobby, Aaron. Stop just naming hobbies.
Okay, I was just trying to lower your friendship priorities.
You're part of this podcast, so it doesn't help you.
You're one of the hobbies.
Yeah.
No.
He's kind of like an action figure. He's all little. It's perfect.
You can bend him.
Yeah, I barely move my arms.
That's true, too. You have one hand that's a perfect circle and the other hand that's always open.
You have no
and everything just moves at a
genitalia.
360 degree.
No genitals. Yeah, he's in exactly like an Aaron Marsh replica action figure.
Guys, just because I'm 1/8 the size of a normal person
He's
does
like a
not mean I deserve this.
A hairless Care Bear.
You can give him Malibu Aaron.
Malibu Aaron would be adorable. I'd collect all of them. Listen, guys, what a weird start.
That's great.
As always, Tony Reavis in the house.
Yes.
Feeling a little sick.
A little under the weather, but
it's all right, man.
It's going around.
You're still here and spirits are high. That's what I like about you.
Yeah, ready
It's
to
going
work.
around.
Having fun.
Yeah.
In your house.
That's something you say. Oh, no, don't. I'm not gross. It's just going
It's
around.
going around.
Yeah, I know at least
you'll
100 people. None of them have it.
We live in a highly populated area. You know, I'm sure there's tons of people who
Is your
are
roommate
out cold
sick?
right now. Not yet.
Is she avoiding you?
Probably.
Yeah.
There's
She just
20
does that
homeless
regularly
tents
anyways, but
outside of
no.
my work. None of them are sick. And they sleep outside.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't have super immune system like your freaks.
Tony was telling us something about his house, and you had to chime in about
That's all right.
homeless people for
okay.
no reason mid-sentence.
That's why
I'm
he's
sorry.
a heel.
You're right.
Unbelievable.
why
Tony,
he's a
I'm
heel.
sorry. I'll give you $1 afterwards.
You better. I'll hold you to that.
Actually, let's start a
Verbal
tally.
contract is binding.
Okay.
Start a tally. Here.
Yeah.
Also on the podcast, you just heard him. Heel in action. Aaron Marsh is here.
Hey, I got $1.
Yeah, you booed me as I gave you $1?
Yeah. Well, you're the heel.
Oh my God.
What are you, some kind of
This is the
stripper?
first time I've ever been booed during my intro, and I like it.
Thanks for being here, bud.
Yeah, absolutely.
How's
Thank
your
you
week?
for having me. Oh, super boring. My job is a lot of paperwork, and paperwork is not funny.
But that's the promotion.
It is a promotion. It is a pay bump.
Yeah.
It is a freedom bump.
You know,
Yeah,
make
freedom from your old bosses.
$600,000 a year. It's worth it, right?
Oh man.
How much did you say it was?
600,000.
Just the idea of it made his mind blank.
Yeah, it's not even 600,000 cents a year.
Yeah.
Oh,
if you're a
geez.
Patreon subscriber and you were watching this instead of listening to it, Aaron's whole face was like, he'd never heard
It was
the
like,
600,000.
It was a
am I on a
garbage pail kit.
podcast?
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's like. And our guest this week is a good friend and a hilarious comedian. I call him a comedian. Hilarious comedic writer. And just a good pal that I've known for about a decade, over a decade.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, Nick Greco's in the house. Give it up.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Little Nicky.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, bud. This is
right.
perfect.
Yeah.
You're one of my funnier friends.
Oh, thank you.
Out of all
I'm glad
my-
it's on record now.
Wait
is on
a
record.
second.
So I know the funniest people in the world. We're comedians.
Yeah.
I know some of the funniest people in the world. And then I have a bunch of friends who don't even do stand-up who I think are very, very funny. And in our group, you're easily one of the funniest
Oh,
for sure.
I appreciate
If
that.
Justin's listening, funnier than Justin.
Ooh, in your face, Bailoff.
Yeah, take that.
Oh, he said no to doing this.
Bailoff has a much different sense of humor. Like Nick can like riff and like he can. There's many of times me and Nick, even just recently, we'll be saying something. I'm like, oh, I have to do that on stage, and then I would do it that night, and it will work. Like that's how funny we're talking. Justin has his own thing. He's very funny, but it's no one could emulate that.
isolated
He's
comedy.
got a character.
I couldn't go on stage and pretend to be Bailoff. You know what I'm saying? People would not get the humor when I do it. But tell me what you work on. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, not currently, but yeah, the next season I will be working on it. Yeah, I've worked
Nice.
on. This will be my third season on it.
Wait, so you were in it before they took that long gap break?
Yeah,
The Seinfeld that
the
season? Where they were...
I'm sorry, this will be my fourth when it goes again. But yeah, I did 2 seasons before, huge gap, and then the most recent season.
Is it a fun show to work on?
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah?
It's-
And they're cool with everyone?
They are. Everyone's
Yeah?
cool.
Did they feed
Crew's
you?
Cool. They feed me. Yeah.
That's the best.
Aaron.
I'm going to bring you a lunchbox if you could fill it. Jeff, I'm working something out right now.
All right, fair enough.
I'll give
Making
you
up
a
for
little
that
bag.
$600,000
Yeah.
paycheck.
At your new promotion place, do they feed you?
No, they don't. And the old job did. So
Wait,
I
but-
did
but
lose
do they have
out.
vending machines?
Oh, God, you don't want to eat from those vending machines.
Here's your $1 back. Buy yourself some dinner.
Wait a minute. So
How
that
many
is a-
how many microwavable pot pies do you eat at work?
Oh, because of the old place, I was across the street from Trader Joe's, and we had a microwave, which I don't have at the new place. I was going through about 1 or 2 a month, but
That's
at
not
this
bad.
new place,
Yeah,
I'm not going to have
horrible.
any.
That's
No.
a reasonable amount of pot pies.
Yes.
Microwavable pot
But
pie.
you're
Yeah.
microwaving them, which is disgusting. However, I think 2 a month, fair.
Yeah,
it's
no,
a good
it's
quota.
not. It's nothing crazy.
So my mom works at Costco, and then she in turn got my sister's jobs
Yeah.
at Costco. So my whole life we've kind of been in a way a Costco family. And she's like, we read this article, or not we, but we heard about an article like in the 90s where they're like, oh, if you eat more than like 2 hot dogs a year, the odds of you getting this horrific disease are like heightened by 90%. And then I brought it to my mom because she works at Costco where they have that like $1.50
Right.
cafe. She goes, oh, there's guys in our warehouse who eat exclusively they have like 8 hot dogs a day,
Oh,
which is
my
insane.
God.
See, I was expecting a number like that when you're talking about your gross microwavable pot pies.
no, just because I said I like it doesn't mean I made it a full diet.
I eat the
Just
same
because I
thing
see
all the
7
time.
peas, I'm like, this is healthy. You know, like it's. I also see that it's a cup of
I was hoping
gravy.
you'd say you eat them every day, so we could just start calling you pot
Yeah,
pies.
just old pot belly pie.
Gross. I would be even grosser if I was eating that many pot pies.
What do you eat? Let's go through this. We'll start with Greco. Because we're all single dudes.
Sure.
Sure.
We're all not at the peak of our success, like in life. I feel like we'll all
I feel
be,
like I might be, Jeff.
with the exception of Aaron, we're all going to make a lot more money and have better lives someday. So like my eating habits are awful. Like I eat
Yours
the same
are almost
places.
non-existent.
Yeah.
As much as I've hung out with you, I rarely see you eat anything.
I eat like a bird. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't eat much. I don't eat often. But when I do, it's always the same places. That's why I say I eat awful. I go to the same like 3 places around here. When I lived in North Hollywood, I went to the same 3 places around there. So yeah,
Which is also a lot like a bird. They go to the same 3 trash cans, they peck a little bit, and they fly to the next place.
this is
You go
my
find
area.
You go find an old man throwing bread.
Yeah, exactly. And then I have like things in my house that I eat, like Uncrustables.
Yeah, sure.
Big
They have
shout
the
out
peanut
to
butter and the-
Uncrustables.
Still waiting for that
Shout out
sponsorship.
to Uncrustables.
Still waiting.
Are you trying to get a sponsorship?
Trying, man. I love them, but I don't
Okay.
want. I'm tired of paying
If it's
for
about
them,
the
man.
consumption
I know they're
amount,
reasonably
he's reached
priced.
it. Yeah, the way he thought I was eating pot pies, he actually eats
Yeah, that's
Those
why.
are kind of like pot pies.
Yeah, it's like a pouch of
Yeah,
food.
it's a
But even when they're expired and they're all like crusty and frozen burr, I still put them in the toaster and they taste delicious. Shout out to Chad Denick who taught me that. Great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. What do you eat? You're a single guy.
I'm kind of the same. Haven't really gotten past peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
Like I think you can live off that
We
forever, man.
live in proof.
Yeah, living proof. I mean, it's the best. One of the best meals.
Who cooks at your place? You have roommates. Do any of them cook?
JC cooks the most.
Okay.
And so whenever he brings home, like, he works on like food shows and stuff.
Oh,
So like,
yeah,
he'll bring
that's right.
home some
There
of
you
the
go.
leftover meat that they
yeah.
don't want to throw out.
Can I
And
give
he'll
him a lunchbox too that he can take to work?
Eric, do you have a
Just
job?
leave a
Yeah, I'm starting to
lunchbox, yeah.
worry.
You know
Aaron
what?
is
Give me a
high-end.
lunchbox. I'll leave one at my house, one at work, and I'll leave it
you.
out for you.
Yeah.
It's
Please.
such high-end panhandling.
Yeah. You want
Hey
me-
man, I'm kind of hungry, but not
like-
now.
It's like the reverse Blue Apron.
Yeah.
Like he gives me
Yeah, it's
a lunchbox
grayish,
to
greenish
fill up
apron.
for him.
Oh, Ari does Blue Apron. That's a friend of ours who is a single guy who does that. That brings him the meals and stuff.
Yeah.
So he feels like a chef because he's like, oh, I just put these ingredients in, and then that's not cooking.
That's like
Right.
painting by numbers.
Yeah, it's insulting
Yeah.
to painters
Yeah.
and to chefs. This is ridiculous. Wait, so you don't cook? JC cooks.
JC's the cook in the apartment. I will once in a while, but nothing creative. You know, it's the basic stuff.
He's from the Midwest. Shout out to the Midwest for just being straight meat in the mouth.
He's upstate New York. Is that Midwest?
Yeah.
Wait, you're upstate New York?
Born in Rochester. We moved to Naperville and then back to Rochester.
What's Naperville like?
White suburbia.
Sounds delicious.
First description word, white.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
the suburbs of Chicago.
Sounds
Has the
great.
Barnes and Noble?
Because like people are like, oh yeah, you were living in Chicago. I'm like, yeah, I live in Naperville. Like, that's not Chicago.
Oh yeah. That happens
They
with all
they
big
pull
cities.
that card and
right?
like, so I just immediately would say, yeah, Naperville.
Yeah, that's
to
every
get that
city
out
in
front.
the world. Well, so, but you're a big Cubs fan. That's one
Yeah.
thing I like about you. Let's start with this. We usually do it like this. The first time I ever met you, I remember going, "Who is that dude? He's very, very funny. Your friend's great." And they're like, "Oh, that's Nick." Blah blah. And I felt like we hit it off pretty quick because like we just have similar interests. Also,
Sure.
We like baseball. We like babes.
5 o'clock shadows.
5 o'clock shadows.
Yeah.
We're in the show business game. But I'm trying to think of like. I remember you watched like every Cubs game, which is something that I found was
Yeah.
fascinating. That's another thing about Tony. Tony watches every
still?
Mariners game.
Nice.
I just checked the score like right now too.
Yeah.
How they doing?
We just took the lead back. So
Oh,
it's
great.
good.
We're so good this year.
we
the-
lost today.
Let's not
Yeah,
jinx
we
it.
did.
Let's not jinx
The
it.
Mariners are the Cubs from a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
That's bold.
That is bold.
Wow.
But the Astros lost to the Yankees
Like
today.
2012
Yeah.
or
No, like 2008.
You know that the Mariners haven't made the playoffs for 16 seasons?
Ugh.
Oh man,
Longest
you guys are
playoff
like you're like the
drought.
Bills.
What you since
Longest-
you've had a beard?
I know.
Shave your
longest
beard.
playoff drought in pro sports right now, currently.
Really?
crazy.
The whole
Because-
sports?
Because
the-
Bills
because the
just made
Bills
the
won,
playoffs.
yeah.
Yeah. So
16 seasons.
Since 2001.
But anyways, so that's another thing. You watch all the Cubs games, which
Try
is
to.
a big deal.
Yeah.
What-
Luckily this season they won it all. I watched pretty much every game.
I knew how the Cubs were doing based on your Twitter account.
Good.
Yeah, I remember thinking like, I'm gonna follow this. This is great. He's giving
Yeah.
updates. Did you get paid to do that or anything?
I did for like small startup sports media company. They had me do it called Cubs Lunch. Did that for a few seasons. So I had to watch every game, tweet
Tony
on
pays to do it. He has to pay
Oh,
for the
wow.
network.
I'm doing it backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, please let me post updates. They're like, all right, you got to pay us.
What about?
Can you just post updates without them?
No, not the way
What?
Tony did
What?
it. Not the
On
way
the
Tony
internet?
did it.
On the internet?
My Twitter's free, bro.
Yeah.
No,
What?
dude. He pays.
But I was caught when you said lunchbox on that. I could just give the Cubs lunchbox
Lunch,
lunchbox.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. I don't even know if they do it anymore.
But did you? So what did they pay you? They paid you in
It
coupons
wasn't
or food?
Yeah, it wasn't much. It was
great.
yeah, but I mean, it was something.
You're like, I'm already watching.
Yeah.
So might as well give me something.
It was a
Winning
dream
twice,
job.
brother.
That's what I like. And then the Cubs won, and does that make you not as excited now?
Yeah, I just gave up on sports after that.
I feel like that happened.
I can die. That's fine.
Wait, did
We
that
did
really
it.
happen to you?
What?
Did you really give up on sports after they won?
No.
I pay attention about 1/10 as much as I used to since they won.
Yeah,
It feels like I'm watching a TV show after it was finished and the series finale happened.
I mean, we hit peak fandom at that point. So
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah, no,
where
and then
do
I
we go from
exploded
there?
with love.
Yeah.
And I can't
We didn't know
collect
how
it.
to react.
I can't collect being obsessive over it anymore.
Your whole identity is gone.
It does take away some of it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to be honest. Like,
Yeah,
you
we're
did
not
it. So
chasing
like
it.
now we're like,
We're
what
not
do we
chasing
What do we
anything.
do?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, Mariners.
Yeah, but that's what
exactly.
it's like being a Patriots fan, I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, it felt that way for the Seahawks too.
And
We
the
won the Super
Seahawks,
Bowl.
yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, cool. But then we lost the next Super Bowl in such a heinous way that it's back.
Oh, I don't feel like
Yeah.
mine's back. And I definitely feel like when the Seahawks lost that Super Bowl, besides that night, I didn't care. I was like,
really?
dude, yeah, because that night it bothered me. I was like, man, you got to, why are you not giving Marshawn the ball? I was like everyone else.
Sure.
But then the next day I'm like, dude, we won just last year.
Yeah, but the reason it still bothers me is because every time they're on NBC, they're gonna be like, "Oh, remember this?" I'm like, "Yes, I
Yeah.
remember." Mm-hmm. And
Nobody talks about
it
that.
doesn't stop.
shellacking we gave the
Yeah,
Broncos
it doesn't
the year before.
stop. So until we win another one, it's not gonna stop.
But the angst is gone.
right,
So
and just like our first Super Bowl versus the Steelers when we lost, that drove me nuts for years until we won. Then I'm like,
Right.
I don't care about that.
yeah.
Yeah, the Steelers one was bullcrap, man.
Yeah, but it doesn't bother me anymore.
I also didn't know at that time that I would become such a close friend of a legend of the Steelers, you know? So like now I had to go through and delete all these anti-Pittsburgh posts. You know, I googled like Jeff Dye Pittsburgh.
What, as if he would give a shit?
Not that Terry would, but people following him might go
right.
look at all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. You know, because I'm always at Fox and being like, oh, me and Terry, I'm chilling. Who do you think the best player is? Like, oh, I got to go with my Steelers. And then I'm like, oh, no, I don't want them looking up anything I posted like way before the show. That's tricky. I don't know. I feel like the Cubs were so nice and used to be like lovable. And now they won. And it's like, I don't feel like that for fans anymore. I don't care.
You don't think Cubs fans are lovable still?
No.
I could see it.
I'm right here. Nick is right here. We're the most lovable guys.
I think as a
outside of
majority,
present
though,
company.
I would probably agree with you. Like, there
Yeah.
are cocky Cubs fans now.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are from Naperville.
How about that Anthony Rizzo slide the other day?
Oh, yeah.
How'd you feel about that as a Cubs
I loved
fan?
it. As a baseball fan, I loved it.
See, and I the opposite because I'm not a
Really?
Cubs fan. I was like,
You
Wait,
know,
what's
do you think
slide?
it was
Still my
dirty?
favorite.
Do you think it was dirty?
I mean, it falls in the rule book fine because he was still in aim of the plate.
Yeah.
But like,
Wait, so he
I think
slid?
he slid
was breaking
home.
up a double play at home.
Yeah. But
Okay.
Like,
So
but
the
like slid where
catcher-
like his hand could have hit the plate, but his
So you
body
know how you,
took
like-
the catcher out and hurt
Okay.
him.
If you slide into second, you kind of out of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
base path a little bit, but you're still in reach of the base.
Yeah.
He did that with home plate and
Okay.
clipped the catcher's foot. The catcher threw it over first. Another run
And I don't have a
scored,
problem with
so-
that. The guy got hurt. I don't know how bad he got hurt or whatever, but
So
he
a long
actually-
time ago, for the listeners that maybe don't follow sports, they Buster Posey, this really good catcher for the San Francisco Giants, got really hurt because the base runner ran into him. And then to just prevent catchers from getting hurt, they made all these rules that you can't block home plate, even though that's been a baseball thing for hundreds of years.
Not just
Or
catchers.
like 100.5 years.
protecting runners too.
Right.
Yeah.
I hate that rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say
I
you're a
do too.
catcher. They literally give you armor.
Yeah, we
Like, you're
literally
wearing.
watched girls
I think
do
if
it
you're
in
gonna-
League of Their Own.
Yeah.
If you're going to stand in front of the plate,
Yeah.
be ready to get run into.
You're wearing football gear essentially. Like actually you're wearing more gear than a football player.
Yeah.
This guy who doesn't have gear should be able to blast you or just don't block
Just
home plate.
don't block it.
Yeah, I hate that rule. It's one rule because baseball's not famous for changing rules. Like they always like, oh, keep it tradition, keep it tradition. But then, you know, with all these safety things,
That was
they
like,
felt-
and that's the one time you get contact in baseball.
right.
Yeah.
And then that you never touch
Unless
anybody.
you're, unless you're Jose Batista, then you get punched in
Yeah,
the face.
or yeah, if you want,
Yeah.
if you want to get punched.
He got punched
dope.
so hard it made him bad at baseball.
he got punched so hard. Where is he on the Braves now?
no, he got released.
He's on the Mets. Back on the Mets.
Oh, he's
He's
back
on the Mets now?
Yeah.
It's insane.
But he was on the Braves. He got
Yeah.
cut. Now he's on the Mets.
How does that happen?
And
he's
he's
like
gonna
the
play-
face of the Blue Jays.
And they're
Yeah.
like, you're going to play like twice a week. That's a bummer. That's quite a demotion.
It's insane. I don't like it at all. But there's no Rochester sports teams, right?
Oh, there's the Rochester Red Wings.
No,
You've
never heard of them. No, I don't think that's right.
You never,
That's definitely not professional.
Shout out to
the Orioles farm team.
Okay, you root
Yeah.
for them?
Oh, all the time.
You have
yeah.
their hats?
No.
Is
You
it the
don't?
Orioles?
It
was
used
Minnesota.
to be.
Minnesota.
Now I think it's Minnesota.
Because Matt Haig, who
So they don't
it
even
used to
have
be
that.
played last year.
I'm
No,
amazed
they're
that you
still
knew
there.
that off the top of your
They're
head.
still there.
They just switched. They're
And
not
now
Orioles
they
anymore, they're
do
Twins.
garbage plate nights.
I like this.
Aaron's
So you had a
in.
garbage
Yeah.
plate?
He has a
I'll
garbage
get one.
lunchbox.
Guys
Right?
are-
Yeah, I
You
can
guys
You
borrow
microwave
one.
them, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Invented the garbage plate, right? Rochester. They
Rochester
invented
did,
it.
yeah.
What is a garbage plate? Explain it.
So it is your choice of mac salad, home fries, French fries, or baked beans. Only psychotics get baked beans. And on top of that,
Hey, if I'm gonna eat
Usually
all those
go,
fries, I need to get a little healthy in there. You know, get some beans.
the common one is the mac salad, home fries combo. And then on top of that, you either get hamburger, cheeseburger, red hot, or white hot.
Good night.
On top of that, it's hot
is
sauce, like a meat
trash.
hot sauce.
I'm pooping
And then
myself
That's
just
why it's
hearing
called
all
garbage
that.
Ketchup,
plate.
mustard.
Ugh.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's the best drunk food.
How much does it cost?
It's like $5.
That's good.
It's like
for a
a
stadium.
big old thing.
yeah.
I'm gonna be back, guys.
I didn't know. I didn't know that Safeco is famous for selling like crickets, like
Yeah.
deep fried
Oh, I
crickets.
saw that,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
just
Didn't even know
disgusting.
that was a thing.
The little spicy cricket thing.
That's kind of my home
Grasshoppers.
team.
Have you had it?
Home stadium.
I had
Never
it.
heard of it.
It just tastes like it was like chewing on a
Sunflower
sunflower
seeds?
seed. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all it was. It's spicy.
Did they do it because like is that a Japanese thing? Like I've been to Japan and they ate like a lot
I
of
don't know.
bugs. And baseball is very Japanese in
Sure.
in Seattle. So I wonder if it's maybe like they're catering to the tourists or
Yeah, they
something.
have all kinds of like.
Did they have
cultural
that when you were a
stuff they have.
kid?
No, it's new. It was new last season.
Oh, that's
Okay.
why I haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
Because someone just told me about it today. She's like, "Yeah, I went to this. Like, I had the crickets at the," and I was like, "That's a thing? How do I not know about a thing that is like from Seattle, like or the
Like that
Mariners?"
odd.
Yeah, it's weird, but I don't know. I think that I find it fascinating. My favorite thing in sports, my favorite thing just in general about sports, is the mascots. That's one thing me and Aaron have in common. We love mascots. Thanksgiving last year,
I don't know.
We had a pretty heated
We did? Me and you?
alcoholic debate of mascots, of best mascots. Yeah, me and you sitting
Yeah,
down.
yeah. This was Thanksgiving
I guess
because
that's-
you were defending your Benny the Bull.
Yeah,
I'll
and
go
I'll
down
admit,
defending Benny the
never
Bull.
heard of Benny the Bull until that, and I was like, "Oh, really? Benny the Bull's the best mascot, Nick? Or are you just saying that because you're such a big Bulls fan that you think he's the greatest? Because you were defending him like the way someone defends Michael Jordan in like a King James Jordan debate."
Benny the Bull is better than King James.
Well, here's the thing. And I was like, he's just being loyal. He's just being the way, like, I say the Mariners are the best, even though we haven't been in the playoffs in 16 years. But then I started watching clips of Benny the Bull, and I think you might be right. He's one of my favorite. Like, he's hilarious.
I will always say he's the greatest entertainer of our generation.
High praise.
Yeah,
He
better
is
than
the
Michael
best.
Jordan.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, better
He's my
than
favorite bull.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's my favorite bull.
He's my favorite
so
bull.
you took
Benny
him
the Bull.
over Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah.
What number is Benny the Bull?
I don't know. 1.
We got to get you a
No,
Benny
that's
Rose.
Derrick Rose.
We got to
Took
get
over
you a
Derrick
Benny
Rose.
the Bull jersey.
That can't be number one. That was D Rose.
Yeah.
Because like Squatch's number, which was the Seattle Supersonics mascot, rest in peace. He was a Bigfoot. His number was just a footprint.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if maybe Benny the Bull had some kind of
I
gimmick.
honestly don't remember.
It's interesting.
I feel like there's no number on it. I'm thinking it's Bulls, but that's it. Like there's no number, not even 00.
Really?
Like
No,
Mr.
because that
Met.
was Robert Parrish.
They're all
Exactly.
taken. That's why he can't. He doesn't have a symbol.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a
need
number.
one.
Yeah, I like it.
He's
They're like,
beyond
they're like,
numbers.
well, maybe we'll put a nose on it with like a ring, so it's like a bull. And they're like, no, that was Robin's number in the 90s. So wait, go ahead. Favorite mascot, Aaron, of all
San Diego
time?
Chicken, easy.
San Diego Chicken.
Yeah,
He's great.
That is a
one of the greats.
top 5
Yeah, for sure.
legends. Yeah. All right. I don't know about all that. Well, Benny the Bull has all these like gimmicks that I
Yeah.
didn't know about, like the
The
popcorn, gimmick,
thing, yeah.
and then he does like a proposal. I think a lot of the mascots do the proposal thing.
Yeah.
What are the other things Benny the Bull has?
One of my favorite ones. He always messes with the refs too. He's great with the refs. One of the best one was there was this reporter. She's doing her stand up on courtside, like during a timeout, and you can just see Benny in the background, and you just see him. He finds the camera, looks at it, looking around, ducks down, rolls forward, pops up, ducks around, comes out of frame, pops up right behind her and just runs off.
It's amazing.
It's fucking great.
Did she have any idea?
She had no idea the whole time.
You don't
So
think
good.
she
He knew
might be in on it?
Where he was in the camera was awesome.
My favorite mascot besides Squatch, because I think Squatch is my favorite. But I will say that the Mariner Moose, he was so much better in the 90s. The Mariners Moose used to do all this crazy stuff. They gave him like a quad. He would like ride a 4-wheeler around the kingdom.
But he did that for a while, but he ran over Coco Crisp.
Yeah, I remember.
So they had to take it away
Oh,
from
he
him.
took a player down?
Yeah.
Did
That's
it go on the injury report?
No, he made it, but it was,
that's how he should still be.
Oh God.
That should make him number one.
yeah.
He ran over Coco Crisp.
That's
like
how much
should-
he roots for the team, baby. Doing his part.
Who's your favorite mascot?
Okay, he's not really a mascot, but lately I love the Braves. The guy that
Beat the
yeah, the
freeze.
freeze.
yeah, because the
Yeah.
hubris on these people who
yeah.
think they're like, woo, I did it, and then just get smoked in the last 100 meters.
Also, I'm concerned with who casts the people that will be challenging the freeze.
Yeah.
Because you gotta pick regular people. Because somebody did beat the freeze, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to ever beat the freeze. I'm gonna produce it, so I'm gonna get guys like me, or
half
like
drunk.
Yes, just
Yeah.
some dumb guy who's like, oh, I'll raise the freeze because he wants the attention, but he's
Yeah.
like a fat guy. He's gonna lose.
Well, the best is they at the end they think they're gonna win,
Yeah.
and then he busts
Yeah.
by him and they fall.
That one was the
that was
best.
one of the
Yeah,
most
that
famous
was the
ones
best.
because he
That
was
was the
like,
best.
dude, this is easy. And then eats it. Yeah, I wish that they did more stuff like that at every stadium.
Yeah.
That was obviously so wildly successful. Why not do that at the Mariners? Why not do it everywhere?
There's only one the freeze, man. You can't just go around grabbing the freezes.
I mean, the
Well,
Mariners.
he was a college track star. So I imagine every state has colleges and every state has track stars.
How did that
Right.
start? Wasn't he like on the crew, like the
grounds
Grounds
crew?
crew?
There's something like that.
No, like during a rain delay, he was grabbing the tarp. Like that dude's fast.
Yeah, he grabbed all 3 bases before anyone else got to him. Just
Well, it's such a popular thing that people share at work and stuff. Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? Like, exploit that in every stadium,
Well, I mean, the Nationals do the races for the president,
which is great. Yeah.
the Brewer,
Yeah,
the
but I'm
Brewers
sad
do
that
the
it.
they-
Brewers kind of started it.
Brewers
Yeah,
do
the
that.
winner
Yeah,
races.
yeah.
But
Sausages.
I'm sad they had what was it? Teddy Roosevelt was never winning, and then now he wins. I was like, oh, that was a great. He gets super close to winning.
He was the Mariners of.
And then something would happen to him, and he never won a race during that Nationals race.
I didn't know that.
And then last year, he's
Oh, they
now-
should have never let him win.
I know.
I know.
Opposite
It was
of the
so
I
freeze.
love
good.
that.
These baseball teams, they don't know what they're doing.
We should be the head of marketing for baseball.
they
teams.
should.
Just
That's
own
how
a baseball
bad-
team.
Yeah.
We just own
I
one
would love
outright.
to own a minor league team.
You would?
Oh my god!
Oh, I got a
all the
guy.
gimmicks
Well,
and stuff.
Isn't there a new big deal independent ball team in Chicago? They just built this new stadium or something for it's not
I don't
it's
know.
not the minor leagues. It's
Is it like the Golden League?
it's like an independent league. They're called the Chicago Dogs.
Jeez.
It's a great name.
Whack name.
And then they I think they built this new big not big
Who's
stadium.
like
but-
dogs?
I love dogs. I love Chicago, but just
sounds
like
like
what
a-
an
But it sounds like a Dick Wolf show.
unoriginal. Yeah. Chicago dogs.
This week on Chicago Dogs.
Or are they named after hot dogs?
Yeah.
Oh, I
'Cause
guess
that's
that
like
is
their
a
lo-
fan
that's
of
their
Chicago
logo.
dog. All right, fair enough. I was picturing like a canine.
No.
Yeah.
We don't have those in Chicago.
You've had a Chicago.
Well, that's what you
dog.
were thinking because you said who doesn't like dogs.
No, I jumped ship.
He's like, shit. I thought.
What a
know what
heel
you're-
move.
I just saw a different angle I like, so I jumped over there.
Yeah, it's like, who doesn't like dogs? And I was like, you're right. I love dogs. What's wrong with me?
I know that.
And then it's like, oh, hot dogs.
dogs.
What does their symbol look like?
It has a hot dog on it, but it's also that Chicago, the 4 stars flag thing.
Yeah. mhm.
It's that's integrated.
So there's 4
into it
stars
as
in
well.
the hot dog as well.
Yeah,
It's like
all
tomato
kind of-
relish.
Yeah, I don't know.
4 stars.
I do like the idea
CM
of nobody
Punk.
ever beating the freeze.
Yeah.
100% of the time. He's just unbeatable. And then
He's
we're
gonna
like,
age.
If anyone beats him, they
He's
should beat
gonna
him in the
age
freeze.
though.
yeah, but not for
Would
a
you just
long
recast
time.
the freeze over and over again?
How
No,
do
no,
you
no.
know he's gonna age?
Also, if you just keep casting
was an intense
knuckleheads,
stare
like
down.
I say, just keep casting knuckleheads.
Yeah.
You just keep having him race guys. He's always going to be faster than the type of people I want him
Has
to
he
race
raced
against.
any chicks yet? Or is it just dudes? They should
I
put some
think-
chicks out there too.
I'm sure they
I'm
put
sure
a
he's
chick out
raced.
there.
I hope
Women.
not. I hope there's not
Are they
a
gonna do
girl
like
out
a celebrity race?
That'd be great.
You want to race him?
Well, here's the thing. We tried so hard. Well, because I went to a game at the new stadium. I was with Brian Moot and Pat Moot, and we were like the entire day being like, dude, I'm going to be at the park. I'm ready for you, Freeze. Bring it. Like, we just kept trying to, and we thought like if we just keep getting people to retweet it, I got some baseball players retweet it for me and stuff. And they were like, oh, there's no Freeze race today. It's not like every game.
What?
I know.
He's got to rest. He's got to ice up.
Yeah.
It sucks, man.
That's a long run.
The freeze ice is up. Does he?
Ah.
There you go.
Isn't he constantly icing?
Shouldn't have to. I like your style. I will say, Tommy Lasorda is more of the baseball.
I don't think
a
he can beat the
baseball
Freeze.
mascot. No, I'm saying he's like more of a mascot than anything
for
else.
sure.
Tommy Lasorda is literally the mascot of the Dodgers.
Remember? Didn't we go to a game and we saw him?
Yeah,
Close to us?
Yeah, he was like one
And he
section
was
over.
like sleeping.
Yeah, he's the best. So my buddy Matt Lackman's got this great story that his family's been very connected to like Hollywood for a long time. So that his dad's known Tommy Lasorda for ages. So Matt and his brother got to know Tommy really well as young men and now into manhood. And Tommy Lasorda calls their dad and says, hey, does one of your boys want to go to the game today? And so he's like, yeah, sure. So he goes, I have one of your sons pick me up at my house and we're going to drive to San
Orange
Diego.
County.
Yeah, he lives in Orange County. And we're going to drive to San Diego to watch the Dodgers game. So he drives him all the way down to San Diego with Tommy Lasorda. They watch the Dodgers game. It's a great time. He drives them back after the game to his house in Orange County and then says, come on in, let's watch the game. And he's like, what? And he records the game and watches it after he was at the game.
Oh, wow.
Some people won't even watch a whole baseball game.
Yeah.
Old Tommy L is watching it twice, live and on VHS after it's incredible.
I feel like he's for sure sleeping through both times he's watching it, though, right? There's no
probably,
way.
yeah.
Oh, at 12:30 at night, this guy's gonna watch all 9 innings.
Exactly,
Do you think,
that's true.
during the whole rewatching of it, he's just like, oh, there I am. There I am.
That's how I would watch it. But I think Tommy just loves baseball so much.
He just kept pointing himself out in the replay.
I think
It's like
Tommy's
when
just
he's
so
waving,
depressed.
he's just waving at himself in the future.
He lives in like a dark depression when baseball's not on. You know, like he just doesn't know how to cope unless there's a baseball
his
game
identity.
happening.
If I was that kid with him, I would have wanted to play Tommy Lasorda baseball on Sega Genesis with him.
Yeah, of course. That'd be fun. But Tommy
That
would
was
have
the
no
my
interest.
all-time favorite.
I don't think he'd have any
You think
interest.
he's ever played that game?
Do you think he's aware that
What's
it
a
was
Sega
around?
Genesis?
He's
What are you
totally
talking
for sure that check came in the mail.
yeah,
That's true.
Well, maybe not. He's been a millionaire for ages, right?
I don't think he's that deep in the millionaire category.
Oh, really?
I would imagine him to be 4 or 5 million deep,
Okay.
but I don't think he's been like 20 million his whole life.
Okay. I wouldn't have thought that. I guess I don't know why.
Yeah, you don't get like residuals
I don't
being a
know.
manager.
That's not how it works. Wait, they didn't give him like an EP credit too? I don't know.
ESPN Classic. When do I
Yeah,
get my
wait.
check?
They showed my face when I did a pitching change, so
Yeah.
that counts.
Well, I want to try something that we've never tried on the podcast. Can you play the audio of a YouTube video
Sure.
while we're recording? You'll be able to pick it up?
Yeah.
All right. Type in.
Oh no, I already know what's happening.
It's incredible. It's one of my favorite things.
Type in Tommy Lasorda.
No, Aaron.
Jesus.
Also, way to spoil. You're the worst.
All right. What are we doing here?
Here, let
Can
me
we edit
search
that
it.
out? Can we just? Can we believe what we say?
So,
Also, that's the first time my family's ever heard me say.
Oh, they're gonna say Tommy Lasorda.
No, they've heard me say that.
Oh, okay.
That's the word I normally use when I try to say.
all right.
that
So the
one.
story with this is Tommy Lasorda was accused of being the one who gave the signal to the pitcher to plunk a guy, which Tommy Lasorda is not happy to be accused by Bavacqua of being of doing that. So he not only accused Tommy Lasorda of giving the signal to be plunked, but he called him a fat little Italian. And so then at the press conference, right after he finds this out, this is what he replied.
What year is this?
In the 90s or the 80s.
You ready?
Yeah, go for it. It's incredible.
Oregon leading.
Tell you what I think about it. I think that is very, very bad for that man to make an accusation like that. That is terrible. I have never, ever, since I've managed, ever told a pitcher to throw at anybody, nor will I ever. if I ever did, I certainly wouldn't make him throw at a fucking 130 hitter like LaFay or fucking Bavacqua, who couldn't hit water if he fell out of a fucking boat. And I guarantee you this, when I pitched and I was going to pitch against a fucking team that had guys on it like Bavacqua, I sent a fucking limousine to get the cocksucker to make sure he was in the motherfucking lineup, because I kicked that cocksucker's ass any fucking day in a week. He's a fucking motherfucking big mouth, I'll tell you that.
That's it.
I miss those kinds of things.
Unbelievable.
And I like the applause he got.
Well, yeah, this is the press. Like,
Because the press is
laughing.
like, thank God, not a just generic comment from a manager.
Well, because he did
Oh, we'll get him tomorrow.
Yeah, it started generic, like, well, I think it's very bad.
They're like, oh, and you see all the reporters like, oh God, not another one of these.
Snooze.
Yeah. And you're like writing cocksucker. What?
Yeah. That would never fly in a zillion
And that's
years.
and that's back. They're not typing. They're trying to do like the shorthand. Like, how do I shorthand
amazing.
cocksucker?
It's insane.
Motherfucker.
You would be fired if you said that as a coach. You would be fired. For sure. You wouldn't be like written up or suspended or anything like that just to keep saying cocksucker. Also, the best line in that, in my opinion, is he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat is incredible.
What was the limousine ref?
He'd send him a limousine just to make sure he was in the lineup so he could
Because
fight
he bats
him.
130.
He wanted to fight him.
No, yeah, he said because when he pitched, he's like, because they suck. So he's like, I want them at the ballpark that day, so I'm gonna kick their ass.
Yeah, I'll send a car to make sure they're there so I can beat them. It's
That's
incredible.
great.
I love that. But I think that's the mascot of the Dodgers, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Because all the other mascots
Vince Scully.
wait,
Is he?
The
He wouldn't-
voice.
Not really a
I
mascot.
get he's the voice and I get he's
Yeah.
beloved, but he's not
Sure.
They don't parade him
a
out.
larger than life
Like, yeah.
personality.
Tommy's a goofball, you know, like
Yeah,
almost got
exactly.
hit by a foul ball and he like fell down. And they've been showing that clip like once a week at Dodger Stadium
That's-
for the last 20
I would
years.
say that's only number 2 on the list of like top old coaches tumbling.
What's the first one? Don Zimmer?
Yeah,
Zimmer,
That's
yeah.
That was
not
a
a
great one.
tumble.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah, that
like,
wasn't a fight.
that's what makes it even
Grabbed him
better.
by
He
the
went
ears.
straight from
That's him being
Pedro.
assaulted by a guy that's like 50 years younger than
Well,
him.
At the peak of his game.
Don Zimmer did?
He charged right at Pedro.
did.
Oh, I don't
Pedro
remember
was standing
that
there
one.
like, what are you
He
doing?
did.
What are you doing? Don't do it. Don't do
Yeah.
it. All right. He had to, like he had to do
Maybe
it.
you're right. Yeah, I was mixing it up with the awful one that happened on the White Sox, where those fans just beat
Oh,
up the
God.
first base coach.
Oh, yeah, that
Jeez,
was awful.
that was horrible.
What?
But I also don't know who that. I thought that was Don Zimmer, right?
No.
No.
No, because Don Zimmer's Yankees. But I'm trying to remember.
Well, because it was a thinner guy, I thought. I didn't think it was a big
I don't
fat
remember
guy.
who the coach was.
I feel like I remember it being. It might have been Don Zimmer, like Yankees versus White Sox, and there were White Sox fans who beat up the.
I don't think Zimmer
did
was
that
ever
happen?
first base coach.
It was one of the worst things I've ever seen. It was in the 2000s.
Yeah.
It was like when the White Sox were pretty good.
It's like a father-son beat him
Yeah,
up.
and they were like just drunk father son for no reason at all.
do
It's
it.
like, let's go jump this guy really old. But it's one of the only things where you'll see both teams bench clear brawl to fight fans.
Join forces.
Yeah,
to
they were
fight
like,
him.
oh, let's annihilate these guys. They're like putting cleats in them and like just like punching. Like it's like
How
they're
have I not
teaming
seen
up
this?
together. It's incredible.
Oh,
it's really sad though too. You were young, Tony.
Yeah,
You're a young guy.
yeah.
I don't know.
Pre-beard. The Mariners were good back then. You can't
I know.
remember this. It was
I
a
know.
long, long time ago.
Well, Mariners weren't good then either. That was not
We've
a
been
good.
good 3 times.
Yeah.
Not that.
Why don't you do anything in sports, Nick?
I would love to. Can you
Yeah.
give me a job in sports?
What do you want to do? What's the ultimate goal?
Anything?
I gave this speech to Chris Kowalski too. Like Chris Kowalski's like, young guy, and he doesn't have a lane.
Yeah.
He's like, I love to cook, and I love to drink, and I love to play hockey, and I love to write scripts. He's like got so many different things. He's not committed to a lane.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably in that same lane.
You think so? Well, I know that we've written some fun stuff together.
Yeah.
The problem is I'm not famous enough to be able to get it off the ground. That's the problem.
Right.
Eventually, it'll be fine. But I think, like you write, and you're very funny and talented that way, and you're in show business. You were on a show. What was the show that I saw you on a long time ago? You played like a server.
I've done that a couple times.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it?
It's funny because I could get waiter job, like server jobs on TV, but I could never get hired as an actual server.
Hilarious.
That is amazing. Yeah, you're like typecast as that. Oh, that guy looks like a server.
You go to to get a restaurant, you get a real serving job, and they're like, "Do you have experience?" Like
On TV.
On TV, like how fucking hard can it
You think
be?
the guy-
Yeah, and that should be something because it's harder to get that
It's
job.
harder to get a job on TV.
That's funny.
But so that was on The League. I'm guessing is what you saw.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see
or
it on the
Curb.
league. Maybe Curb. I don't know.
Those are my two
maybe it was one of the
waiting
other
jobs.
ones. I don't know. I was just
No,
trying to stretch.
those are the only two waiting jobs.
Okay, that's
Which
good.
on
episode,
TV.
Kurt?
It was the handicap one, the one where he dates a girl in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wait,
Did you
so
line?
when you first
Yeah, I
moved,
said, "Here you go."
oh,
And
about-
I
what about-
handed off
did you
a
audition?
check.
That's
Did you have to
improvised.
audition?
No, I didn't.
Okay, good.
What about the league?
The League was in, I believe it was season 4, episode 10.
I believe.
Dinner
Who's
with Andre.
counting?
I
Oh,
believe.
that's a great one.
Yeah, with Brooklyn Decker.
Yeah.
And I get verbally assaulted by her.
Oh, really?
Oh,
How was
man.
It
that?
was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Is she nice in real life?
Super nice. Like in the makeup chair before, I was like, "Hey, I'm
I'm the guy you're gonna be
the
yelling
one
at.
you're going to be yelling at today." And she's like, "Oh my God, I just want to apologize right off the bat. I'm so sorry for what I'm going to say to you."
You're like, yeah, I know it's not
I'm
real.
like, yeah.
I also
I
saw the
don't care.
script.
Wait, did you
I would
write
just,
it? Or?
I would just like you to talk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it
I'm fine with
improvised? There was all things she had to think about to hate on you.
It's pretty heavily improvised show. So
Also, you're in a great movie, a sports movie, a very funny movie. I have a small cameo just because you made it.
yeah,
But
'cause I love you.
it's called 60-Yard Line, and the premise is that a guy who's supposed to be spending his money and his attention and his loyalty to his fiancee and setting a date and getting married, but instead stumbles upon an opportunity to buy a house right by Lambeau Field.
Yep.
And he's the biggest Packers fan in the world, so he takes that and it kind of ruins his engagement and his relationship with the girl. You made that, and you're the best part of the movie, in my opinion.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and if Ryan Church listen, I'm sorry, dude. It's just
No,
I think that you're very natural and funny.
You can tell him. That's fine.
I think you're funny in it, like
Thank you,
hilarious.
sir.
Every line you nail. You're definitely the funniest part of the movie.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's good. Although in the movie you did take a strange conservative turn. Spoiler. In the movie, and I was like, no.
Oh, I know what he's talking about.
I don't want the funny guy to like be like a
yeah,
coupled
yeah.
up good
Yeah.
guy who's like, oh hell no, I'm gonna get married.
No, we're just
I'm
going
married
up to the
too.
part where it doesn't fall apart.
Okay, fair
know?
enough. Yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough. Well, tell us about that. How'd that all happen?
So my rated partner Ryan Churchill, his buddies actually own the house next to Lambeau. So back in I think like 2004, he went to a party there. I was like, God, this should be a movie. It butts up to Lambeau's parking lot. So like you walk out the back door and boom, there's a stadium.
How much did he buy that house for?
I actually don't know, but it wasn't that much. Like
Right,
he could
'cause
sell it
Wisconsin-
now for like millions to
Oh, okay.
ESPN.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I don't think he paid that much for it. But the way it was in the movie is kind of similar to how they found it. Like they were coming back from a practice.
Mm-hmm.
There's a for sale sign in there. Those things never go on the market.
Yeah, it's a bunch of old people, right?
Yeah. So they jumped on it, and they all stay there for games and have parties, and they got to know the players. So we got some of those players in our film.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How did you?
Wait, how do you get to actually know the players if you live there?
That's a great question. I think they just somehow would meet them and be like, "Hey, we have this house. Come
Right
by
by
after
here."
the game and party."
That's insane
So
that they
one
would
go
actually
and then
show
another
up.
would tell the other, and
Yeah,
like,
because I know in the movie it made sense
Because-
story wise.
yeah.
Like, oh yeah, this is completely celebrating the Packers.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you have the Packers?
and it's just a place where they would go and like not get completely hounded by people. Like they go there and they're just
chill?
one of the guys.
But is it do they still do this to this day at that house?
I think they
Just
still do it,
pre-social
but
media.
not as much because just the guys are getting older and they don't usually live around that area so much
Right.
anymore. So, but
But
yeah,
it was
they
like
still do it.
pre-social media, probably a lot more.
Yeah,
You can't be like, I'm having beers with
yeah. It's not
Sterling
like a bunch
Sharp.
of people.
Here's us
with their
making a
phones
video.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's interesting. So you wrote the script, or he wrote the script?
he wrote it, and then I came in, helped him rewrite it, and then we shot it at the house. We stayed in the house while we were shooting. So
Nice.
Cool.
never
long were
late
you
to
there?
set. We were in Green Bay for about a month.
Nice.
And then came back, shot a few days in LA, and then went back during the winter to shoot some snow shots.
So when you got script ready and you're like, we think we have something great here. How did you get it to someone to budget? Like to get a budget to shoot the movie? Because you guys didn't bankroll it, right?
No, we had investors.
Yeah.
A bunch of them. So and then one big investor. But yeah, we had to bring on a producer to help with the budget because we don't know math. And
you're like,
so,
I don't know. One camera is
like, yeah,
$200,000. Right? Does that make sense?
yeah,
Makes sense because it is. It's a lot of
doing
learning.
all the money. Yeah. So
yeah. And so the investors were those like movie productions and stuff like that, or just like kind of like rich Packer fans? Like, how does it work?
they were mostly Packer fans. Yeah,
That's amazing.
We got lucky with getting, we got it in the newspaper in the Green Bay Press Gazette, and through that, people read it, and some guys who have a lot of money were like,
That's
"I
awesome.
want to be a part
Did
of this."
Packers fans pass this movie around?
I hope so.
There's
I
also,
really hope so.
I'm sure it's so new still.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Who are the Packers that are in the movie? You have like 4 or 5, right?
Yeah, we have Mark Tauscher, John Kuhn, who was a current player when we were shooting, so he would like come right from practice,
That's
shoot his
awesome.
scenes. We had Amon Green,
Right. Seahawk.
Yeah.
Oh, see, Nebraska Cornhusker.
Oh yeah, Cornhusker. Yeah.
He claims a lot of places. He'd be like, yeah,
Gary
San Diego
Ellers-
Padre.
Gary
yeah,
Ellerson.
Arizona
Yeah, look,
Diamondbacks.
he's wearing a Padres shirt and a Clippers hat.
Yeah.
And I'm a
talking
Cubs
Cubs
fan.
over here. Talking
Yeah.
Cubs. Then he says, oh, San Diego chicken, no brainer. It's all over the
Yeah,
map.
man.
Go
Chicago
Cornhuskers.
Dogs.
So the movie went to a festival,
Went to a few. Yeah.
a few festivals. What were there was a big one that I saw that you guys were advertising on the thing.
Yeah, we went to the Wisconsin Film Festival, the Las Vegas Film Festival, and the Phoenix Comic Con, which was
So-
odd
really?
because we're a sports movie.
Yeah, it's like a comic. They're like, I hate athletes.
Like,
You're
yeah, like-
sorry.
We're
It's more of a
following up
movie.
like Star Wars fan fiction films, and
Yeah,
then like
exactly.
ours, we're like, eh.
It's really funny, but it was cool, and that's great.
It was a great experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the movie for like a second.
Yeah.
I play myself as a stand-up comedian, but I was really wishing you to put homophobic stand-up comedian because like my line in the movie is like making fun of them for just being like
Bros.
Yeah, they just like hug or whatever,
Yeah.
and then I catch them like, hey, look at these faggots, you know, like that's that's obviously not what I say, but it feels like that. When I was watching, I was like, oh no, like this is I'm supposed to be playing like a stand-up comic, and not only do I insult them, but they're all like, he's good. Like that's the scene in Wisconsin.
It pretty much is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the stand-up scene.
It's very, very true.
That would be the open mic like star that comes in.
Yeah.
Let's go to that open mic night where everyone calls everyone faggots.
Yeah, I'm king around here.
Good one.
I'm the head open micer, and I just bully people. I love it. Well, I'm excited. If they want to watch the movie, where do they go?
Amazon, Hulu, iTunes, Xbox.
Nice.
Yeah.
And they can buy it. How
They
do
can
you
buy
do? You
it,
get paid
rent
off
it.
of it? Like if people say like a bunch of people listen to this and they watch it, are you going to get money from
I
it?
hope so.
You don't know?
Eventually.
Yeah.
The like
It's not like
cliche
Where does it go? Like
analogy.
when Jeff bought it on the internet.
Yeah, I
Because
paid
Jeff
for
bought it. Yeah, and then we watched it. Where did that money go?
Yeah, it's a great question.
right,
The cliche
not
analogy
Nick.
is like, a movie's your baby, and
Yeah.
you gave birth to it. We were there for the birth and the conception and all that, and then
Yeah.
we just handed our child off to a company.
Someone else. Yeah.
And
yeah.
I've
And
never
so that
seen, I
money
haven't
goes
seen
to
my
that
child
company?
since, but I hope
Really?
it sends me money.
Oh wow.
But yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah, I'm just.
I hope it
I don't know.
calls.
yeah.
Writes letters.
I hope I
I'm
hear
sure the
from it
baby's
again.
sad. The
Yeah.
company's very happy. That's good, man. I'm excited for people to
Yeah.
watch it. Check it out. It's called 60 Yard Line. Also, what's what is there? There's going to be in theaters again, or I don't know how this works.
No.
Okay, cool. I don't know. How it works. I'm just asking.
We did a theater run last year, and
How many theaters?
like 60,
Nice.
and that was way
That's
too
perfect.
many. That was
Right on.
way too many.
That's way too many.
Way too many.
That's perfect too, because it's in the title. You know,
Yeah.
60. You get
Yeah.
60.
But that was too many.
Nice. Wait, so what regular jobs have you had?
Out here,
I don't know any jobs you've
out
had.
here mostly in TV and film, but before that, before I moved out here, landscaping, delivery, pizza delivery. boy.
Landscaping.
Yeah, all of the land.
No, but I can't.
escaped.
What
I
kind
put
of
you up
many,
here. I
many
can't
times
picture
the
you like
land.
landscaping is amazing. So how does that gig work?
How can
You
not
have to wake up early?
No, I have to wake up. Yeah, wake up is the first part of the job.
Yeah, which is my least favorite part of
it's
every job.
horrible.
Wait, so you have to wake up early? I'm guessing.
Yeah, high school summers and college summers, and wake up like 5, 6 in the morning.
Who was hiring? Like neighbors?
No, there's like
Schools?
companies, like landscape companies.
And you would go from house to house like a paper boy doing their lawn.
Well, no, they hire you
Or
to
like
go
a
to the
landscape.
I know, but it's like
You
you're
don't
not
just
it's
show
not
up at
one
someone's house and start
That's my
like
point. It's not one house.
right.
It's probably a bunch.
They have clients who hire the company
Yeah.
to mulch or like create new flower beds
Yeah.
or whatever.
And so you're
We
like,
weren't
I'm
doing
done with
any,
this
like-
house. We're going to the
Yeah, I
next
wasn't
one.
doing like.
You ever look at lawns now? You're like, oh, I could do this.
Oh yeah,
I can mulch
I could
this.
edge the shit out of those
Yeah,
flower
or like,
beds.
why
man.
aren't they taking care of their lawn? Does it make you have like this weird pride in it?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't doing any like grass cutting, so it was like mostly just
You're above that.
the beds. Yeah, oh, absolutely.
I
the
graduated
peons.
high school. I don't need to cut the
Any
grass.
jabroni can
I'm
cut
just
grass.
it's
That's
great.
true.
It's fun for me to picture you doing some job like this because you're like a showbiz guy. Like you write script, you do that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. As wait, so then you said you delivered pizzas.
I worked in at TK's Pizza from when I was 15 till I moved out here. So
At the
till,
same
like,
time you were landscaping?
Yeah, I would do landscape during the day some nights and then go work at the shop.
So did you make the pizzas or deliver them?
Didn't
Both.
make them, but would deliver them, do wings, subs.
Nice. Why is it mostly? So like, tell me about that. Is it
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah. No, I'm interested.
So,
Like,
yeah.
What's the best
I
not
like these
cash
kind
tip
of-
you ever had?
The best not cash tip?
Yes.
You're trying to get me to like sexual favors?
Or drugs.
What? Oh, okay. Drugs.
I had a friend that would deliver
What kind of
pizza. and
Just
he
say
would
what's
always
the
tips.
best tip?
Yeah.
Gold
Or
bars.
did you ever get things that weren't money for a tip? You assumed this dude's for sure gotten
I got some
sexual and
rare
drug tips.
stamps one time.
You got a rare stamp? That's
Yeah, Ty
great.
Cobb baseball card. Like, I'm a little short on cash.
Got some really good advice.
Wait, so obviously we know how pizza. I'm asking about the landscaping thing because I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
You said it like everyone would know. Like, obviously, Jeff, this is how landscaping works. But with pizza, I think we all know how it works. You know, call a
Yeah.
place and they bring you a pizza. But when you show up, did any like fun things happen, or like was it always scary, or was it fine, or
It was always pretty standard. I don't.
boring?
Yeah, I don't want to be like, yeah,
there's
all this
no-
crazy.
You ever
No
deliver
horror
pizza to
stories?
a place and you're like, oh, your yard sucks.
All
During
the
the
time.
day,
All
I
the
go to a different job.
yeah?
Sometimes I would just stick around after and trim the boxwoods.
Well, but in my mind, it's like there's so many elements of delivering a pizza. It wasn't during. You said you were 15 years old to a
I
certain
wasn't
age.
delivering at 15, but yeah.
Okay, but you were working at TK's, and you
Mm-hmm.
this is young enough, at least I know with our age, that this is pre MapQuest and pre
Oh, yeah.
it's pre Waze and Google
Yeah.
Maps and Apple. So that's already hard. Just finding the
That-
address.
Yeah. Looking back on it, you're like, oh my God, I knew like every street
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
town. They'd be like, oh, you got to head up to. You okay? Is that a guy?
We're okay.
That's probably good.
Scared me.
Be like,
everyone
you gotta
listening
head
who
up
gives
to,
a shit what just
Black
happened.
Watch. I'm like, oh, I know where that is.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh God,
I don't know how to get anywhere.
I had to do the
ways
same
go,
thing
like,
for ambulances.
5 blocks.
Huh?
I had to do the same thing for ambulances since I was taking all those calls. I had to know
Every
every
little
single
location.
street in Tucson, Arizona,
That's
and I
insane.
need to know the location of every ambulance at any
That's
given moment.
insane.
You were
I was
a
an ambulance
dispatch?
disper for 6 years. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Which is way higher stakes
That
than
is
pizza.
like, yeah, like
Cold
landscaping is
pizza.
It's not
nothing
the same.
compared to putting people's
Hey, we
lives.
both had to be
in
there
your
in
hands.
20
Aaron is
minutes.
strangely insensitive about his ambulance dispatch job.
Every ambulance dispatcher is strangely insensitive because they had to live through it and had to find a way mentally to deal with it and to just push it away.
He's like, that's the first thing they teach you is don't worry about it. They got themselves into this emergency.
yeah, it's
You're
not your
ma-
emergency. You're
That's
not
what he
liable.
says.
Yeah,
Distance
Oh my
yourself from the
gosh.
emergency.
That's a quote. He really
Yeah.
believes that.
absolutely.
Wow.
Jeff, if you take 50 911 calls in a day and you
Yeah.
do it for the course of years, you don't emotionally invest in all of them.
That's not what I'm
You
suggesting. I'm
emotionally
suggesting
invest in the first week.
You might feel this pressure of like, man, I need to really nail this. No screw ups. Like I need to
Yeah.
like take this serious because someone is depending on me.
So are you
and then
giving,
you're like,
like-
nah, that's the first thing they teach you is like that.
Yeah,
they're
no.
already in an emergency.
Yeah, no, you're being
People.
wrong.
You didn't
They're
put them
not
in a-
real people. So are you
I'm
giving
not
like
saying they're
turn
not
by
real people, but I am saying that your thought is what makes people make bad decisions.
Do
Right.
you give them turn by turn direct? Like how does that work? Like, what is your job?
So I'm forgetting the brand name of the map, but we all had identical maps in the ambulance that we also had in the dispatch room. And I got so good at it. We all did, by the way. It's not just me, to where we would know the grid. And so you tell them page 155, A7. And so now they have it within a half a mile or a quarter mile radius of where they're at. And then like, they'll be like, oh, I see it. And you're like, yeah, you do. Or if they won't, they'll be like,
So
I
you
don't
just
see the
get
street
them
name. Tell
there,
them where.
and then they can get back.
What do you mean
to
by
the
get
hospital.
back? Yeah, pretty
You don't
much.
have to like stay
You know,
with
every
them
time
until
you
they
drive
get to
into
the
a neighborhood,
hospital.
you don't know. You're not completely lost in the world. You know how to get back to the main streets.
Right.
Same thing for an ambulance driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow, I would think they would know.
We would
the
know. I
ambulance
mean, there's
driver would
only
kind
like
of know the
5
city, right?
They start to get to know it too. Like, don't
Right.
get me wrong. Like, they do start to know the whole thing. But I'm dealing with.
was there any drivers that just ignore dispatch? Like, I know the route. And you're like,
Yes.
left. And he's like, nah.
Yes.
I do that.
There's a better street. And you're
That's
like,
how.
dang
yeah,
it.
That's my relationship with Waze. Like Waze will be like, turn left on Wilshire. I'm like, not today, Waze.
Yeah, you're not
I know
bossing
how
me.
to get there. Like, why do I have it on?
I leave it
know
on just
which
to
way I'm
yell at a
gonna go.
woman's voice.
It's the worst. Like when you're in an Uber, I'm like, oh, you should have turned left there, but
Yeah.
no, now it's gonna take another 3 minutes.
Where's the difference? When Aaron gets these ambulance people there, they're going into an emergency. Now you have to deliver a stranger
That's an emergency.
a pizza.
That's an emergency.
Sure. Nothing interesting ever happened when you delivered someone their pizza?
Looking back, no, I can't remember.
You'd
I'm
knock on the
sorry
door
to-
and some
I'm sorry to
college
be,
kids would be like,
boring,
here's some
but
cash. And then they just grab the pizza. That was it.
I remember.
Listen, I've
we
watched
had a party.
pornographies, and they always have the pizza guy doing something special.
Yeah, for sure, dude. That's what every time a girl orders a pizza, she's like hooking up with the pizza guy.
That's why she orders a
Nick,
sausage
listen,
pizza.
She's like, "Where's the extra sausage?" You're like, "It's in the box, sweetie. Later."
Yeah,
You cut a
bye.
hole in the bottom and put your dick in one pizza.
Yeah. That's sexual assault.
That is.
Yeah.
It's also
but
the best
I'm not
write-up of your
denying it.
It's
life.
not sexual assault if they're coming on to you
That's
as the
true.
pizza guy.
Yeah. I mean, they called me.
That's the thing.
right.
You can't get mad at them. But I guess what I'm saying is, I find it hard to believe nothing cool ever happened. You didn't have like,
I have
oh,
a
there's this
story.
one regular guy. He's always calling. He's a crazy guy. He's like
Fairport's
cheap.
not that crazy.
No.
I have a
Yeah.
story about ordering a pizza and like,
Oh yeah, let's
Like-
hear it, Tone.
Oh, then you fucked the dude.
no.
Okay, sorry.
And I was,
was
young.
you?
I was I was like super young. I was at my cousin's house and we ordered a pizza, and my cousins were in college at the time, and we were playing like a Mortal Kombat game just came out that night. We
Nice.
got it. We were just playing, and like we ordered pizza, and we're like, the pizza dude's like, "Oh, is that Mortal Kombat?" Like, yeah. And then he just like stayed for like an hour and
This
played
guy's
Mortal
the
Kombat with us.
greatest. Did he eat any of the pizza? Like, did he reach into the box and grab it?
No.
He was respectful of that.
Yeah. But he was like, "Oh, I want to play."
I just
And he's
assumed
like,
since
come on
he
in, dude."
didn't know boundaries with strangers in their video game, that maybe he wouldn't know boundaries that way either.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, can I have a beer?" Like, wait, don't you got to go back to work?
Yeah, shouldn't you be working and driving?
Yeah. I had a friend that was a pizza delivery guy, and once he was like, "Hey, you want to go to a party?" He got off his shift and went back to one of the places where he delivered a pizza because they told him to
amazing.
come back. And he grabbed me, and we went. And then when the police were called, he put the pizza because there's like the Domino's
Oh yeah,
magnet
that-
you can put on
oh,
your
yeah.
thing. He put it on top of his car and like drove past the cops. Like the cops were like trying to interrogate everybody.
it's
He made it look
perfect.
like he was doing. Yeah, it was the
Wow.
best.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad it was very
Chill.
generic
Yeah.
because after watching that documentary on Netflix,
Yeah. Evil
Oh my-
genius.
oh
that
my
could have
gosh.
been
that's
you.
a crazy story.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
trying to get an evil genius story out of
Yeah.
him.
Oh yeah, the one time I got a bomb strapped to
Yeah,
my
maybe
neck.
that's why it seems so unexciting. Is because I
Yeah.
watched 5 hours of a mentally challenged guy explode in a street, and I thought like being a pizza boy must be wild.
Fuck yeah, it's like
And then that night I probably watched porn, and I was like, man, being a pizza boy is wild. And I saw Glow, and I was like, what, you meet chicks being a pizza delivery guy? You know, so it's like, I'm just kind of a little disappointed that not, I guess Uber would be kind of like that nowadays. You're literally, every ride, a new stranger is getting into your car.
mostly drunk though, so you probably do have good stories out of that.
Or terrible ones.
Oh yeah, that
Or
could be.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell. So before Uber came out, I was taking a lot of cabs in New York City because comedy club to comedy club, and I asked this cab driver. I said, "What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you in this cab?" You know, it was a little mini interview before we get to where I'm going. And he starts the story. He's got a thick accent. He says, "One time, 2 ladies." And I was like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be a good story right here." You know, I'm drunk. My friend with me is drunk, and he goes, "One of the ladies, very beautiful. She put knife in my neck. And we're like, what? Like the whole story took like this weird turn. And he's like, the other lady kept trying to grab for my money, but I just start shift, so I only had $100 in there, and they get away. I was like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like someone tried to murder you.
And he went back to driving
He's
a
still
cab.
driving cabs. Yeah, exactly. He's
He
like,
had $100
If
to
I
pick
got
up.
stabbed as a pizza
It was
delivery
only
boy,
a half an hour
that's it.
before he picked up
I'm
Jeff.
not doing that again.
It's terrifying. That's New York, man. Gangster.
Well, that's the thing too. Like in cabs, like there's no documentation of who's getting in your Uber. It's
Unless
like
you're doing taxi
we're-
cab confessions.
That's true,
Dude.
But like
Or
Uber, we're
cash
all
cab.
like being watched. Like they know who's in what car with who.
I give
Yeah.
you
For the
100
most part.
arguments for why Uber's safe. Like,
No, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
we're on the same page.
But I'm saying like a taxi cab, like
not.
anyone
Yeah,
just
yeah.
walks in and you're
Yeah.
like, all right.
And you never hear about bad press for taxis. People are never like, oh, I would never get into a taxi. But I can name 10 people in my life who are like, I don't do Uber. I think it's frightening. You're like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like they know where you're at. They're like it's monitored. You know their plate, their name. They had to register the whole thing. Like you're way safer in that
That's
car.
in your phone.
There are headshots there before they are.
Yeah, if the Uber is like driving into the woods, there is going to be an account of you driving into the woods. Like
They
Yeah,
even have
just think like if you've ever lost something in an Uber, it's easy to track.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you lose something in a cab, try to like
Forget
call
it.
dispatch and be like,
It's
I was
gone.
in a yellow one.
Yeah. Oh, it was a.
He was making very racist comments.
It was-
that helps.
It was a guy with a thick accent with headphones in, mumbling into a phone. Like that's all
He
of
had a
them.
bandage on his neck.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
looks like
stabbed
you've been
him a
through some
bunch.
shit.
Stabbed.
It was seriously. That's. I mean, like cabs are so dangerous, and people just whatever. Also, a horrible thing that happens to Uber all the time is they'll say like, oh, headline will be like Uber driver rapes pizza woman. I don't know why I said pizza. Rapes.
Man,
Uber
pizza
driver.
is the thing.
I can't get out of my
I'm
head.
telling you, man, pizza's not that exciting.
People love it.
It is exciting, but
no,
the,
so
the
it
business.
also, the headline will read like Uber driver rapes 19-year-old girl, right? And then you'll read the story, and it's a guy followed her back from a bar and then like raped her, and he does drive Uber in the day.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: that's not Uber's fault. Like it wasn't like
Right.
she got into an Uber. It was like this guy is also an Uber driver and he's a monster. But that's not like they'll put Uber in the title as a way to like kind of try to affect the business. Pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like well, they would say stand-up comedian. Well, if I ever murdered someone, they'd be like stand-up comic Jeff Dye murdered someone. I hope people don't read that and go, oh man, at a show? Which is what people are doing when they read
I've
Uber
never
driver.
been back to a comedy
I
club.
hope for me they go former landscaper.
Yeah. Which is so you said those two jobs. Did you have other jobs?
No, those are the only two I've had through high school and college.
So your life's been great.
I don't know if it's. I don't know. If
You've had
that's
a great life. Those
tell
jobs
me
are
the
fun.
worst thing that ever happened to you
I
to
don't
make
know
me
if
think
that's-
that your
there we
life's
go.
not
That's
great.
a good question.
Jeez,
Tell us the worst thing that ever happened to you.
the worst thing that ever happened.
the most regret.
Yeah, like
you've
this
ever
one time I
felt.
spilt half of my soda. That was pretty bummer.
That was a bad day.
Yeah. This would be the white privilege podcast. Like just one time I accidentally deleted a file on Donkey Kong Country.
I had to start all over.
Yeah, that really happened to me. I was so mad.
far were you?
I was in 5th grade and I was like, not good at video games, but I had made it pretty far along. And then I accidentally hit delete, but it wasn't back in the day where it's like, are you sure you want to delete?
It's
It
like
just
gone.
deletes. And I was like, I was like panicking. I ran to my sister's like, stop being such a nerd. I was like, shut up. I was like going crazy, like literally like, you ever seen those YouTube videos? I think they're fake, but like the one,
Yeah, those are fake.
the one brother is like always having like these big meltdowns.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
other brother's like breaking his Xbox or whatever. Like I was like that kid. I was like, I was like breaking trying to break the controller. I was like going crazy.
I've had the opposite happen where there's a game that I rented.
Mm-hmm.
Is that we couldn't buy it, and I was like, "All right, I rented it. You play it for 5 days, had to give it back." And then the next weekend, I wanted to keep playing it, so I rented. I was like, "Please,
Yeah.
hope that my save file is still there."
Yeah.
I got it back, and it was.
We've got great lives. This
It was-
is
that's
we have a
total
great
redemption.
lives.
Yeah,
It was the
I
best.
don't think people want to hear this part.
No, this is great.
Yeah, so now
Great
we're ready for
lives.
your worst ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Donkey
a flat
Kong Country
tire
file
once.
deleted. Well, why do bad things happen to good people? So, Aaron, what is your besides the ambulance dispatch job? What are some jobs you had?
I worked in the cemetery for a couple years.
Yeah, it's a great job. We've already talked about
yeah,
it.
and not on the podcast.
Yeah, we have.
Have we?
No, I never heard this.
You didn't the Cinespia where they play movies in the
we would show movies in the cemetery,
Wow,
and
that was
so
a misdirection.
I would. No, yeah, it's the.
Oh yeah, I worked at I thought you were digging graves.
No, it's like some cool like LA job. It's a job anyone
I
would
know.
want.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
I would
sure.
help build sets and stuff for it.
Yeah.
Managed a coffee shop, the
Great job.
911 dispatch, catered a bunch. Tons of little odd jobs out here.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy outside of those top couple.
Me and Jeff Zenisek, our first jobs were Hollywood Video.
Yeah, nice.
And then I'm trying to think. Starbucks. I worked at Starbucks. Robbed that place blind.
Hell yeah.
Stole a bunch
Should've
of money
sang
from them.
that on the-
They deserve
Yeah,
it.
I was like punished by the government, or not the government, but like I was punished by the law. You know,
That counts.
I did
part
my
of the
time.
arm
Yeah, I
of the
paid
government,
fines
sure.
and I got terminated, and I had to do all this community stuff. So yeah, I robbed Starbucks blind, and I don't regret it.
Good.
And
How are
then-
you robbing them blind and getting punished?
So well, because I wasn't, I got caught.
Okay.
But, I mean, I was stealing money. So what people like?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if have we talked about this on the podcast? No. So what happened is like drinks would be like $3.85 or $4.15. And so what people would do is they put like a $5 down and then just walk over to where they're waiting for the coffee, assuming that I would put it in and then put the rest in the tip jar. But instead, I would just delete all the things off the menu or off of my screen, put the $5 in my pocket, and they still got their drink. I've still wrote on the cup, like make them their mocha or whatever. And so nobody really noticed, but like corporate keeps track of how many lines you delete. And so most people have like 2 deleted lines a day, and one employee has like 250 deleted lines. That's suspicious.
So like they weren't even paying for their drink now.
Nope.
You were just pocketing.
I was
the
just
cash.
giving them free drinks, pocketing the cash, which is like a pretty popular. It's
Crime?
it's very common. It's very common. It's
Especially
like-
with something like that too, where
Right.
there's not like an inventory of like.
exactly. It's super common, and that's why they monitor the deletes and stuff because this happens so often. Also, it's when it's a company who hires generally teenagers. It's not right.
Sure.
White collar crime. Like it's just a bunch
Right.
of bozos that they're like, oh, this is easy. We can tell who's stealing and who's not. But I worked at a ton of coffee shops.
The one guy in Jordans who works at Starbucks.
Yeah. What's crazy is some nights I would go home with like $200 extra. I was like, just
My
great.
God.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Starbucks.
Untraceable.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
I DJ'd in college.
Oh, that is the worst thing you've ever done.
Yes.
When I say DJ, this is early 2000s.
Yeah.
So I just had 2 CD decks.
Nice.
And I would just put CDs on at the bar I was going to anyway.
That's fine
So I
anyway.
would just make a whole mix CD, put it on, walk away, and like drink with my friends.
After 12
I
tracks.
knew what songs were being played, so I knew like when to go back and like switch CDs and just go back and hang out.
So what,
systems.
did they pay you for that?
Yeah, $40 for like 3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah, not good money.
College.
Yeah.
I'm making money while I'm
He's- yeah,
gonna be
drinking for
at the
free.
bar.
Were you
I'm
getting
gonna
free
be at.
drinks?
But are you getting free drinks?
Yeah, there you
free
go.
drinks and $40? That's
Yeah.
good money. That's good scratch.
to push a button?
Yeah,
the
no, I
DJ,
agree.
the DJ
Which is-
booth.
I'm just thinking in my mind, if I'm a bar, I say, dude, we'll give this kid $40. He's there for 3 hours. He's gonna spend $100 in beers.
And the DJ
But if they give me
area
free
was at
drinks,
the end
too.
of the bar.
Yeah, dope.
So I would just be next to the bartenders all the time. Like, hey, grab me one.
And you need to give yourself more credit because that's all DJs do these days.
It
too.
really
They
is.
just push play.
Except they stand in front
Yeah,
of
they
a
didn't have to
computer like
remember
they
which
act
song
like,
comes back and forth.
Where was I? Edmonton. We went to like the hottest bar in Edmonton, and the owners of the bar were like sweethearts to it. It's good. It's a
Yeah,
good place.
there's no air conditioning there.
It was awesome. It was dope. It was huge. It was very beautiful inside. The owners were like young people who were like hooked us up and were so nice. I don't know if they came to the comedy show or if just someone told them like, oh, we've got the comics coming, line around the block. It's like the best bar in them. However, the DJ was like this like white kid wearing like a Michael Jordan jersey who like thought he was the coolest guy in the world because he was the DJ. He was so bad, and we watched him pretending to turn dials and doing all these things. We were right behind him going, oh my God, like you're not doing anything. But he's like dancing, he's like holding the headphone like on one ear. We're like, this is like watching like him play, like or pretend. We're all just watching a boy.
Yeah, he's just doing the
Hilarious.
dance he needs to get what the girl he wants.
There's a video, I think, at like a wedding or something. The DJ is doing exactly that. Like, got the headphone going, he's mixing everything, and then the camera slowly zooms on the back of his equipment, and nothing is plugged in.
Exactly. That's what this felt like. I wish there was a way to prove how much of a
was fucking
fraud this
great.
guy was. He kept going crazy, and then my one buddy Matt like wanted to like punch his head off of his body. It was a wild night.
Sounds like
Edmonton,
it.
dude. Also, that was another thing. Everyone was so much younger than us. That's one thing that felt weird, especially when you go to those club things. Sometimes in these towns, like it's definitely like a college bar, and you're like, oh, I forgot how much older I am than college kids. And then I get there, and it's just, I'm like, we should leave. Just feels like I'm judging a bunch of strangers.
That's how I feel everywhere I go.
No way.
Just I get there and I go, oh God, we should leave.
You don't like? We're not. What about like a Laurel Tavern or like the Improv Bar or anything like that?
Yeah, mostly.
Really, just in general.
Just
Is that honest?
it's yeah, pretty much.
He's been thinking that since
Really?
minute 6
I told
of
you
the
I hate
podcast.
bars.
I love going to bars.
I'm thinking about
I know
like
you
my
do.
bed
You
right
just
now.
sit and do this, except with a drink in front of you.
No, here's the difference: is there's not music so loud that we can't actually do this.
But Laurel Tavern has like no music when we just sit there and joke with each other. That's what I like about it.
Yeah,
Also, I feel like right now, I feel like I'm present and I'm not like in my cell phone when we're talking. And I tend to do that at bars also. I like kind of just put my phone to the side and engage. So that's another reason I like it. Whereas like if I'm in my kitchen, like, and we're all doing this, like I'm like kind of looking at my phone still or dinking around on that.
You feel more socially productive.
Yeah. I'm actually enjoying it and talking and having a good time.
Well,
Debating Donald
put
Trump. You know what I'm
microphones
saying?
in your
We're doing
kitchen
stuff.
so you feel like you're always on a podcast.
If I keep one of these with me at all
that's the whole
times.
point of this. That's
just
why.
like strap one of these to like your belt so you have
Yeah.
it like
Yeah, just over the shoulder.
yeah.
So this is
Just
what I like
hanging in
about
front of
Greco.
us.
He's got ideas.
Yeah.
That's a $100
My
idea
guy
right
just
there.
got it. Can't implement.
$100 idea.
It's a $100 idea right
good.
there, dude. For
Perfect.
sure.
Better money than DJing at the bar.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we should have you DJ this podcast.
I was
No?
excited.
All right,
when you-
cool. Thank you.
I was excited when you said that you were a DJ because I just bought a record player and I don't know how to use it.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, Greco will help me. But then you're like, that means I had 2 CD decks. And I was like, oh,
I mean, I can help you
dang
put
it.
together like a record player.
It doesn't, I don't know how to use it. It's frustrating.
I can show you how.
All right. It's frustrating.
No,
but
you've
you know what's
never used
funny?
a record player?
I thought I had, and then this one I'm just confused by it. Every time I put it on the record, it goes,
Are you sure it's Are you sure it's a record player?
Yeah.
It's not like a waffle maker.
I've been playing the Roomba. That's the
But
brand.
putting
Is that a
records on
problem?
this Roomba and it's not working.
Well, you know what's weird is how many times people are, I don't want to use the word smug, but they act like something's so obvious. And then when you ask them to show you or help you, they also don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
That happens a lot to me because I'm vulnerable enough to just go, I don't know, teach me.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll be like, oh, you know what, I technically, I don't think I know either. I'm like, well, why are you making me feel like a buffoon? It's a tricky record player, man. Nobody knew. Aaron didn't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, Dave
I've never
didn't
had
know.
a record player
I
in my
can
whole
figure it
life.
out.
Man,
It was
I'm
confusing.
pretty confident
I'll
I
give
can
it a
figure
shot.
it out.
Yeah,
You can
got-
figure it out
he's
too.
What
tech
was it?
savvy.
Something happened like this earlier today. What was it? It was in the car with you, I believe. Something happened, and I was like, I don't know what that is. And you go, oh, I don't think I know what it is either. Do you remember? It was some expression or something like that.
Was it this memory?
No, it's not this memory. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Maybe I do, and I don't want to say it now. I think I remembered it. But anyways,
Oh, no.
I feel like that
Was
happens
it sexual?
sometimes.
Do you need?
No, it was a crime.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get
No,
that on.
don't
say
No,
it.
You already
No.
divulged one crime today.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
I
only
know
one
maybe.
crime per episode. We have a rule.
I'm gonna start bleeping out the crimes, like that time I committed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, we can't talk
I
about
burnt
that.
those clothes I was wearing.
Not this
that day.
I
episode.
can't believe you got away with it.
Yeah,
That should be a Netflix
I'm not even
documentary.
nervous. I'm not even nervous. Nick, thanks for being here, brother.
Thanks for having me.
We want to have you back anytime.
I hope that
This was
went
a lot of
well. I mean,
it wasn't great, man.
blast.
That's all this is chilling with your friends.
oh, good.
That's the whole premise.
Yeah, we
and then
don't-
they send us a check for $80,000, and we say, "Hey, thanks for
What?
We love having this podcast."
Oh, you don't get your cut, dude?
I've been paying you to
Listen,
be the
Tony.
producer of this podcast.
This podcast
Sending
for
out tweets,
you
doing
is
a
exactly
podcast.
like your Twitter account. You pay per.
Yeah, that's how I can afford these lunch boxes to give to my friends to go get me food.
All right. Well, thank you, Nick, for being here. Aaron, you want to plug anything?
No.
No, you don't want to plug anything. You want to plug your Twitter? Your
No.
horrifically.
At Aaron M. Marsh on
There we go.
Twitter.
Yes, he couldn't help himself. Tone, you want to plug anything?
Yeah, check us out playing video games, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Jeff and Tony play. YouTube.com/Jeff Die.
Yeah.
That's
Big
a plug.
shout out to our Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Love you. If you want to subscribe, patreon.com/Jeff Die. Also, check out jeffdie.com. I've got a bunch of dates coming up on the road, so you can come see me there. Nick, what do you want to plug, bub?
I don't know. I guess Aaron's Twitter.
Yeah, Aaron and Marsh.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're going to read some stuff over there. Trust me.
Don't show the kids.
Yeah, and even if some of the stuff is clean, you'll still find somebody being offended down below.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, I had that
Aaron's
great
Twitter.
joke this week. I shouldn't say great joke. Very clean joke.
I would love to debate that.
If it's great or not?
No, not that. Debate it, like talk about it on the podcast.
Oh.
Aaron tweets.
Aaron's Twitter. There's nothing for everyone.
That's a good
You
plug.
gotta put that in your bio.
That's great.
It's going in your Twitter bio.
Can I have one?
He's holding it.
Yeah, sure, you can take it.
There you go. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We love you.
Friendship.
How great was that? I say that after every episode because I think every episode is great. That's how great that was. 5 stars, great. If you enjoyed it, give us a rating of 5 stars. Say thank you. Maybe put some positive things in the comments. You don't have to if you don't want. Patreons, thank you again. Everyone listening at Revolver or iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, thank you. Couldn't do it without you guys. You guys are the best. Yeah, we love you. See you next week.